Hi, my name is Alana Fierro. I'm 18. I go to Palomar College, and I'm excited to be here today.
What is a talent or skill that you feel like you have that a lot of people don't know about you?
I can just jump into the splits.
Oh,
Really
wow.
fun. It's a really fun party trick.
Are we
It's
talking
cool.
like Dallas Cowboy cheerleader splits or like,
Yeah.
oh, no way?
So, like that. And then on the nights that I do go out with my friends, it's fun to just bust out.
I love that. Okay. Speaking of your friends, how would you describe your best friend?
My best friend, her name is Alona. She's pretty down to earth. Well, she's one of my best friends, but she's pretty down to earth. She's really chill. I like her because she's upfront with me and quite funny. I feel like she's the complete opposite of me, but we complement each other so well.
Yeah. No, I love when that happens because, like, if you're friends with someone that you are exactly the same with, things get boring.
If we were friends and we're the same person, we'd always be getting into trouble.
Clashing a lot, yeah.
Yeah.
What is an accomplishment, personal project, or extracurricular activity that you are proud of working on?
An accomplishment that I could say that I'm very proud of was throughout my whole senior year of high school. Well, even before that, I knew that I wanted to do something different when I graduated. I wanted to give something for my parents to be proud of, my friends to be proud of. And so for a long time, I tried to complete that through academics, through AVID. And I did finish AVID, but I didn't complete the whole IB program. So I ended up speaking at my graduation by winning a speech contest. And I was able to share, I guess, a piece of what I really felt about my graduating class and leave it with everyone. So I was really proud of that.
Oh, did you get to pick the theme of the speech?
Yeah, I got to completely structure it by myself. I got to present it in front of my school district and like their my school principal and stuff, and other people competed too, and I just continued to talk, and then I had got selected, and it was a really great experience to be able to talk in front of thousands of people.
That's
So
amazing. How long ago was that?
that was this last June.
Oh, wow.
So
So you're a freshman in college?
yeah.
Oh, how is that going?
It's going good, actually. It's like stressful. It's a lot about learning what I like, what I don't like, the people I like, the people I don't like, what I want to do. It's a lot of just new stuff, which new things are always fun and exciting.
Yeah. So you mentioned you go to Palomar College. Is that a school where you like stay at for 4 years, or do you transfer after 2?
So you can do either. I feel like a lot of people are there to transfer. That's definitely what I'm there for. I'm just trying to see right now what fits best for me, what college really captures my interests and can definitely push me more.
Yeah. What are you currently studying?
I'm studying business management and marketing.
Nice. That's a good one. Honestly, like there's so many avenues to take with that. You can go anywhere.
That's literally what everyone's telling me, and I think that it's a great start, and I'm happy to see where I eventually go. All I know right now is that I want to travel. I like talking with people, and I'd like to have a job that obviously makes a decent amount of money. So, yeah.
But also a job where you don't feel like you're there for like
Yeah.
endless amounts of time.
I
Like,
want a job that makes me happy to go to work, which everyone wants that, but it's like I genuinely want meaning and happiness from a job.
so what does education mean to you?
Education, I feel like, is just the consumption of new knowledge, which could be anything from a skill, literal physical facts, just learning new things that you haven't known before.
Yeah.
So,
So in terms of like, we have like basic education, general education, like things like that. Do you feel like there's a topic or even skill that you feel should be taught in schools that isn't?
yeah, actually, I genuinely feel like there should be more life skill classes, especially in high school. It's a really scary thing, and a lot of people, make it seem like it's not that big of a deal, or maybe it doesn't affect them as much, but it's a huge jump from right when you turn 18 and you're going into you feel like you're almost on a race, but it's not a race, and the overwhelmingness of picking a college, picking your career, finding, there's a difference between a job and a career. I just learned that this year. And it's a really big, overwhelming time, and I feel like there should be more help, especially in high school in this transition, like even just learning how to use credit cards, how to be financially smart. More people like aiming to push scholarships towards students, because that's one thing that definitely stresses students out, is like financial stuff.
Literacy. Yeah, I agree. I don't think I got my first credit card until I was like a sophomore in college.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a problem. Like, I realized that was a problem when I told everyone, like, oh, I got my credit card. And they're like, oh, you got like your second, third one? I'm like, no, my first.
I just got my first one on my 18th birthday, and I've been like great at using it, but like I also just bought my first car on my own this year and paid my insurance and everything that comes with it. And I had no idea what I was doing, and so I was scared. And even just like making big purchases as an 18-year-old with like no, I guess, guidance, and it could be different for everyone, but that's scary.
Yeah, it is scary. And like, you don't want to make a mistake, especially when you're so early on in the game, but like at that point we just have to teach ourselves, and that's something that like you said, I wish we could have been taught just a little, like a sneak peek of how to actually live life instead of just jumping into it. Okay, tell me about someone who's left an impact on you and why.
I would say someone, and you know, it's typical because your mom always leaves an impact on you, but my mom's impact was really really big, because I wanted to be like her my whole life, but then I realized growing up maybe she's actually someone I didn't want to be like, and wanted to be very different from. And I guess the shift of like idolizing my mom as someone who is perfect and can never do anything wrong, and then realizing that there is actually a lot of things that, and she's only human, but there's a lot of things that she does wrong and a lot of things that I don't want to be like, and almost kind of having some sort of resentment towards her, while still trying to be grateful for everything that she's done. It is very impactful, because it just changes like how you see a lot of things, how you see maybe even motherhood, how you view other people's moms, the sacrifices that they have to make for you, makes them a good person, but they can also at the same time not be a good person.
I can totally agree with you on that. There's something that like was really popular, this saying, like, it's your parents' first time living too.
Yeah.
So it's like we look at them as like our idols, but then as we get older we kind of start to see them as people. And so that's something that we can, like, I that's a challenge that I feel like a lot of people go through, and it's something that is hard to say a lot of the times, because you never want to like, that's your parents, you know. But I totally agree with you on that,
especially for like my parents are divorced, and I live with my mom, so I didn't even have my dad to idolize. It was just my mom, and all that pressure on my mom, and like to support and all those things. And then the second she would, you know, I started noticing like, whoa, why does mom do this, or this is actually kind of messed up, and like it was just a really big like shock.
That's good that you're like, you know, you saw that, addressed it, and you're kind of working to create your own self and not follow someone else's lead, which is, it's a beautiful thing. Okay, is there a cause or social issue that you're passionate about, and why is it important to you?
A cause that would be important to me is anything or any groups that have to do with advocating for sexual assault victims. And it's important to me because growing up, unfortunately, because my parents were separated, I had to be sent to daycare, and I was assaulted for a good majority of my life, and it was a horrible thing to just come back from. And I think that there's not enough people and not enough awareness about it. And maybe if there was, it wouldn't have happened to me for as long as it did. And so I feel like there's a lot of scholarship foundations who reach out to women or just people who have been assaulted. And I feel like I would be very passionate about going into marketing or even working for a business who has to do with advocating for assault victims.
I'm sorry if that's like too personal, but did this happen to you like at a young age? Or?
Yeah, so I believe from like 2 all the way till I was like maybe 12 or 13.
Wow. Like by the same person?
Yeah, it was my babysitter's husband, and we had no idea because my babysitter was family friends with us.
Yeah.
And so it was actually insane because it was like my entire family was being sent to this lady, and it was like she was just funneling the kids to her husband.
Oh my God.
So it wasn't all of my family, but it was me and, you know, a couple other family members. And we were just so in the dark about everything because we were unaware about like what even is sex, what
Yeah.
even, so we had no idea and thought it was completely normal.
How did you like get the courage to speak up?
So it was an accident, actually. I was talking to an older cousin of mine, and I had just told her, you know, we were like kind of going back on past memories we had, and I had told her like, oh my god, do you remember so and so, and I
Yeah.
had said that, and I said it completely thinking it was just like a normal story.
No, yeah.
So I had absolutely no idea that what I was telling her she was gonna tell someone, and it became a huge thing, and it happened actually right right as COVID started. So it was like when I found out that like what had really happened and stuff, it was just like I couldn't believe
Wow.
it.
I'm sorry that
It's
happened to you,
okay.
but like I'm happy that you got the help that you needed,
Yeah.
and that it's in the past, and it's something that you actually want to give yourself to in the
Yeah.
future. So since that is more of like like a serious topic, that is, I hope that it's normalized to talk about, but I know that a lot of people do like to gravitate away from it. But what is a piece of advice that you would give for like someone either in your position at a young age, or someone who doesn't feel the courage to speak out and get help?
Yeah, I would definitely say it's okay to be scared, and it's okay to not want to say anything because it's a private thing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's okay if you don't feel like telling anyone, but
Mm-hmm.
if you the one thing that you should think about maybe to get the courage to speak out is you don't want that to happen to anyone else either.
Mm-hmm.
And that's an important thing. It's half of the time it's not just you, it's a bigger picture, and you're just one piece in the puzzle. And so it's okay that you're scared, and like you might not feel comfortable, but it's not okay what's happening to you, and it's not okay if it's happening to anyone else either. And it's like a burden lifted off your shoulders once everything is finally settled, and there's people who have your back and who are going to help you and support you through the rest of it. So
Yeah.
it's okay, and you'll be okay in the end.
Yeah.
So
That's very well said. Okay. What advice would you give someone who's trying to make more of like a positive, long-lasting impact on their community?
I would definitely say if you're trying to make a positive impact on your community, focus on yourself first, because you can't expect to make a change in others if you yourself are not taken care of. And that's so hard right now, especially if you're a young person, an older person, an adult. Like, you cannot expect to help others if you haven't helped yourself yet. And that's a hard thing to do, and you don't have to be perfect, but you need to make sure that you're okay.
Yeah.
And that whatever energy you're going to be giving off is like something you're okay with giving off, that you really believe in, and you believe yourself like you're okay and you're in a good spot to also impact others.
That's a beautiful piece of advice to give, and I think like obviously it's definitely harder said than
Yeah,
done.
it is.
But it is something that is very beneficial, because you're right, like you can't help anyone else if you can't even help yourself. So I love that. Okay, again, you can be as vague or detailed with this one as you want. What is a challenge that you've had to work through, and how do you feel like it's shaped you to who's sitting in this chair?
So back to, unfortunately being assaulted, it caused a lot of problems for me early high school. I fell into a series of really bad depression, and I was diagnosed with severe anorexia, and unfortunately like had to be in the hospital for a long time. And it was really hard to overcome because it's a battle with yourself. Almost every battle that you have is essentially against yourself, because you are your biggest enemy. And it hurt to just know that someone could do that to me. Someone could be that evil and like also do it to other people.
Yeah.
And for a long time I wasn't okay. But the thing that helped me to start to be okay was honestly being active, finding that outlet to let everything out, finding out that like everything is kind of like in your mind, being active and staying consistent is a mind game. And so is like depression, and so is certain disorders. Like it's you, like you are against yourself. And if you can overcome, if you can overcome running a mile every day and then building it up, then it made me feel strong enough to overcome these personal battles that I was dealing with.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful. Like, I know you already mentioned this, but do you have like any other advice that you would want to give someone?
In
Like in this, the topic that we're talking about, like, feeling like overcoming that challenge, or like any challenge that is kind of hard to talk about?
Yeah. If I were to tell someone, who's in a hard situation, I would definitely say it's okay to not be okay for a while. Take the time that you need. It's really difficult if you try and rush through a grief process of whatever you're going through, whether that be a loved one loss, you lost a game, you hurt yourself. It doesn't matter. You need to feel that grief first, and then you can move forward. And moving forward looks different for everyone. And moving forward and getting better isn't a complete straight up process. Growth looks like this.
Yeah.
So whenever you feel like you're plateauing or you're not really growing, you just have to look back and think where you started, and it's always going to be better.
Well said. Very well said. Okay, well, this is the last question.
Okay.
Let's end on a fun note. What do you feel like? Obviously, this is not a normal application process. You don't come to like a place and are videotaped. So in terms of like normal applications, what do you feel like is something that usually gets left out for you specifically?
I feel like in normal applications, they ask you like, what are your interests? What are your hobbies? Just like this, and that's great. But something they don't always ask me is like, how do you balance? How do you balance work, school, staying active, taking care of yourself? And the truth is, I'm still trying to figure it out. And if I were to tell anyone, like, I think that's actually that's a really great accomplishment, and like always something I'm trying to figure out how to balance, and that I'm always looking to add to my plate but find like a balance between it all. And it's stressful and it's hard, but I'm really glad to like and proud to say that it's something that I'm working on and trying to find peace with.
Yeah. And even like you just like sometimes like standard applications, like if you say things like that, they're like, okay, like move on.
Yeah.
But like they don't really see the bigger picture of like, it's actually very, courageous of someone to say like, I'm still working on it.
Yeah.
Like I'm still struggling, and I'm waking up every single day and trying to better myself and trying to fix myself.
It's horrible that sometimes we're made to feel that way, and that's why it feels like a race half the time, that you have to be at the head of the race and like you have to be on top of everything, but that's so not true.
That's not realistic.
Yeah. Just the fact that you're attempting to balance makes you good. Like makes you great, makes you better. Like, and I wish that in applications they would ask me, how do I balance everything? Because I would tell them I'm working on it. I'm trying.
Yeah. Okay, well, how do you feel?
Oh, I feel great. This is great.
Yeah, did you enjoy it? Did you like it?
Yeah, this is fun. Everyone likes to talk about themselves.
I know, and it's fun. Like, the setup makes you feel like I can just yap for hours.
Yeah, I feel like I'm on a TikTok podcast.
Yeah. That was the goal of ours. So marketing will be happy to hear that. But anything else you want to share, Alana?
Thank you, Triple B, for having me. And honestly, I know this is like gets uploaded on YouTube. Yeah. And if anyone who is a assault like victim, you should definitely speak out, and if not for you, then for someone else, but always put yourself first too, and you don't deserve that. So but thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, I love talking to you.
Thank you.
It was so nice talking to you.
It was nice seeing you too.
So nice. Hey YouTube, if you enjoyed this person's story, don't forget to subscribe below to hear more from our inspiring youth. If you want to apply for our Storyteller Scholarship or get more involved in our organization, click the link below to apply. Thanks for watching!